Hi, welcome back to Philippines On Demand with a Showtime segment of breaking news from Davao City from the desk of Davao Mayor Sara Duterte. Well, our Davao City Mayor has released Executive Order number 62, and here is a look at the executive order that I have in hand. And as I said, rather than just explaining to you what the order is, I am going to read the order to you. All right, according to Executive Order number 62 of Series 2020, in order providing for the guidelines on enforcement of the prohibition on non-essential travel in Davao City. Whereas there is a surge of COVID-19 cases in the city of Davao because of the innumerable activities allowed during the Modified General Community Quarantine, MGCQ. This is another reason why this order is being put into effect. There is also a need to control COVID-19 cases in Davao City because of the full occupancy of the COVID-19 beds in the Southern Philippines Medical Center, otherwise known as SPMC, and the almost full capacity of C19 wards of other hospitals in Davao. There is also a persistent disregard of many individuals to abide by the stay home / quarantine MGCQ and the non-essential movement prohibition under the IATF guidelines. Now, I know that some of us may scoff at that statement in this executive order. But look, if we're being very honest with one another, you and I, we have noticed a lot of people that fail to comply with the laws that were set forth in other executive orders that were pertaining to C19. So this is another reason, my friend, why Executive Order number 62 has been, well, for a lack of a better word, born. Continuing on with Executive Order number 62, there is a need to guide everyone on the enforcement of the prohibition on the non-essential travel, essential goods, and services. So what's the definition of essential goods and services? Well, according to this executive order, the definition is and shall be defined as all goods and services relating to human need for food, medicine, medical, dental, and allied medical services, in addition to health and wellness, money, work, and or shelter. The following is a guideline for the travel through barangay and security group checkpoints. Let me also back up a little bit and state that non-essential activities are movement for amusement, entertainment, leisure, and gaming are prohibited. Once again, let me repeat that. Under Executive Order number 62 of Series 2020 for Davao City, movement for amusement, entertainment, leisure, gaming are prohibited. Now, as in regards to the checkpoints, the following is a guideline for traveling through barangays and security group checkpoints. All personnel must be in complete and proper uniform. A checkpoint must display signage to identify it as a barangay, police, or inter-unit checkpoint. So they must be properly labeled. You have to have the proper signage outside your checkpoint letting the travelers know if it is a barangay, police, or inter-unit checkpoint. In addition to mutual courtesy and respect shall be observed between traveler and frontline personnel. And I can speak on this. I've never had an issue with any frontliners whatsoever. For me personally, they've all been very professional. So I want to thank them for that. Also want to give a shout out to all the frontliners. Thank you for going above and beyond and putting yourself, and not to mention your families, at risk for your care and your service in our communities, not only in Davao, but throughout the world. Individuals who are traveling for essential goods and services have the burden to prove essential travel by the presentation of the following. Now, here is the burden that falls on us, the traveler. For work, any of the following will suffice: an employee ID, certificate of employment, certification of labor service, or those without employer-employee relationship. For drivers picking up individuals to and from work, you must have a photocopy of the ID or employer or employee and driver's license of the driver. For family events, you must be able to provide an event invitation. For walking, jogging, and cycling, ID with an address. 2 hours maximum exercise shall be within 10 kilometers of the residential address. For other fitness clubs, you must have a certification of membership, a gym ID, and appointment of confirmation. For food and medicine pass, you will need that. It appears to me that they are reinstalling the FM pass, so I hope that you have your FM pass. If you do not, you might want to contact the person or persons that delivered the FM pass to your home, the leader of your, if you live in a subdivision, or the barangay. Go to your barangay office and inquire there. But if you have their number, I would call them first. Definitely, I would call them first because, again, we're trying to reduce and minimize, movement as much as possible. But yes, you're going to need a food and medicine pass, and I suspect that you know how to go about making sure that you have one. The food and medicine pass, FM pass, shall be used to buy food or medicines. 2 individuals can be named on the pass, but only one named person therein can use it at any given time. The FM pass must be used with a valid ID to verify the name indicated therein. All right, just like before before they changed it all on us. All right. So FM pass, to refresh your memory, and according to the executive order number 62, handed down by Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte, the FM pass last digit 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. In other words, the odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 can only be used on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The FM pass with the last digit ending in even numbers, may it be a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, can only be used on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The FM pass can only be used from the hours of 5 a.m. until 7 o'clock p.m. And that brings up a point. Please keep in mind of the curfew hours between 7 p.m. and 5 o'clock a.m. And of course, the no liquor ban. The FM pass cannot be used on Sunday, regardless if you have an odd or even number digit. The FM pass cannot be used on Sunday unless you have an emergency. If you have an emergency, be prepared to explain yourself to the frontliner that you'll pass through. Regardless of what checkpoint it is, may it be a barangay or a police or inter-unit. So be prepared to explain yourself. You will need a medicine prescription and a medical booklet. So, my friends, keep in mind that the FM pass is being re-implemented and will be used just like it did when it first came out. For medical, allied medical, or dental services, certification as a patient, confirmation of appointment can be electronic or on paper. So again, for medical, allied medical, or dental services, certification as a patient is required. Confirmation of appointment can be electronic or paper. For business, business permit is needed, SEC registration, and DTI registration. Any other document for proof of business. Moving on to church or other wellness activities would need a satisfactory oral explanation, just like if you're going out after hours, or if you are using during curfew, etc. You'll have to explain yourself orally and have a good explanation. So this states if you're going to church or other wellness activities, you will have to present a satisfactory oral explanation, an appointment confirmation, receipt of services rendered, and other pertinent documents. For access to government services, pertinent document to the government office to be visited. For access to private offices and establishments, services like, for example, banks, money transfer, etc., you'll need pertinent document related to the office and email SMS confirmation. For access to school modules, you'll need a student ID. Offices and establishments. All offices and establishments are encouraged to require the presentation of any of the documents above for entry into their premises. Penalties. All existing applicable laws and ordinances shall be pursued against those who fail to follow the provisions of this executive order. And again, that is stipulated in this executive order as to just one of many reasons as to why we are going backwards and not forwards during this pandemic. And much of it is to the credit that, and not in a good way, that people are not following the laws. They are not obeying the rules and the laws set forth to help us to get through this process. Regardless if you believe in it or not, regardless if you believe in what's going on or not, we still have a responsibility to be law-abiding citizens, and we have to be not only responsible to ourselves, but we must be responsible to thy neighbor, to respect ourselves and the neighbor and the rule of law enough to do our part so we can finally get beyond all of this. I know you and I know I am very tired of this pandemic thing and how it has affected people, not only in the Philippines, but all across the world. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not only talking about for people who don't follow the rule of law here, I'm talking about people in general who don't follow the rule of law anywhere in any country. And you can go back to my country in the United States, and there's plenty of examples there, but I won't get political on you because all I'm here to do is basically just to present Executive Order number 62 of the Series 2020 in an impartial and unprejudiced manner. All right, so that's exactly my goal, and that's what I am carrying on to do. All existing applicable laws and ordinances shall be pursued against those who fail to follow the provisions of this executive order. And that warranted repeating, because I think that things are starting to get to a boiling point to where they're really going to start ratcheting down and cranking down on people who fail to follow the rule of law. So let's all keep that in mind, myself included. Separability clause. If any provision of this executive order is declared invalid or unconstitutional, the other provisions not affected thereby shall remain valid and subsisting. Repealing clause. All orders or parts thereof which are inconsistent with the provisions of this executive order are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. This order, now listen up please, my friend. This order shall take effect at 5:00 a.m. of November 17, 2020. All right? So this order goes into effect at 5:00 a.m. on November 17 of 2020. So you have a couple of days to get your ducks in order, to get your ducks in a row, as we generally say. This order was written and done on the 13th day of November in Davao City, and signed and released by Sarah Duterte, our fine mayor here in Davao. It was released on November 13 at 8:20 p.m. So there you have it, my friends. Executive Order number 62, series of 2020. Now, I do want to address an issue that has come about. You had saw one of my, viewed one of my previous QR code videos for Davao City. I received a lot of concern, about the system not being up and running, where people were not able to get registered for a QR code. Some were able to, while others, like myself, were not able to, according to the link that they put out. Now, I heard that the system had crashed, that there was just way too many people, on that bandwidth. And, it's kind of, like too many people walking on a wood bridge. And at some point that wood bridge is kind of give way, right? So anyway, poor analogy, but you get the point. We need to, I don't know if they're steering away from that or not. I don't think that they are. I think that they're just biding time, trying to, get that system up and running again for the rest of us to register, via our mobile devices. There is another link out there, and I put it underneath that QR code video. You might want to look it up on my channel, Philippines On Demand, And it's just basically the only QR code video I have out there, and it wasn't released too long ago. So it'll be really easy for you to find. And I place another link underneath there, and I was able to successfully get registered on that link. But I'm thinking that is for the Philippines in general. And there is another one strictly, streamlined for Davao City. And that link is not yet up and running as of this broadcast. Why do I know that? Because I just tried it before I came on with this executive order. So until we receive further word, we just ask that you remain patient, try to be understanding, because there's thousands of people trying to get registered, and the bandwidth can only take so many people before we crash it. Makes sense, right? So anyway, just remain patient, remain vigilant, keep trying, try every day if you have to. And under the Davao one, you're going to need a close-up photo of yourself, all right? Just like you would an ID. If you can't go outside and get a photo, find a white wall, and stand in front of a white wall, and have somebody take a photo of you. You're going to need a photo of your identification card. I mentioned it in that QR code video that I made, which identifications are accepted. And you're also going to need an identification of that card with you holding it next to that beautiful smile of yours. So you'll need 3 photos under the Davao one. Under the other one that I was able to successfully subscribe to, or register to, I should say, I only needed a photo of myself. And keep in mind, for both, you're going to need a legitimate mobile phone number and an email. And yes, please keep in mind that there is a no alcohol ban for the entire Davao City, all of the Davao region, as per the mayor. And also, we are still under curfew, which is 7 o'clock p.m. until 5 o'clock a.m. And the FM pass has been re-implemented, okay? And I also want to state, for the record, that I do not speak on behalf of the mayor. I do not speak on behalf of City Hall. I only speak on behalf of me, all right? A vlogger, Philippines On Demand. That is the only entity I represent. I represent no other outside entities. I just thought that, that I need to make that very clear. I had a lot of comments underneath my QR code video, a lot of complaints, a lot of concerns that the registration process for Davao wasn't working. I'm not the guy, all right? I just throw the information out there. If it works or not, that's not on me. But I will try to help you through the process by providing the other link, which I did. And hopefully, if you look at that other link, I believe it's safe.ph, something to that effect. You can try to find that link and get registered. I think that, but also keep in mind, be careful what you're registering to, all right? And keep in mind, when you also register, may it be for the Davao one or the other link for the Philippines, a bank card or a bank account number is not necessary. If you find yourself into something like that, back out of it real quick. And you also might want to report it. All right. So that pretty much covers Executive Order number 62. The beautiful thing about a video is you can always rewind, play back, stop and start, and follow along at your own speed. So I hope that you found this to be helpful. Please don't be shy, hit the thumbs up, down. below the video if you so choose to. If not, it's all good. The most important thing is just getting this information out to you. All right. So, and then leave a comment as well if you wish. So that's a wrap up for the executive order number 62 of series 2020 for Davao City and her region. I want to thank you very much for watching another edition of Showtime. And keep in mind, we have a special treat for you. We have Sunday night at 7 p.m., November 15th at 7 p.m. Philippines time. I have an author, a wonderful guy, and he is going to be our guest on Showtime. And he also used to work in the Detroit Tigers Major League Baseball organization. And then the following Sunday, same time, same bat channel, 7 p.m. Philippines time, we've got a wacky, crazy, funny question and answer segment with Check Out the Rileys. I'll catch you later.